In this video, I'm going to show you how to format your essay as demonstrated in class in case you missed it or needed to review it again. So once you're in Microsoft Word, the first thing you're going to do is go to the Home menu and change the font to Times New Roman. And you can either do that by finding it in the drop down, or again, like I just did, you can type Times and then New Roman will populate, so you can click Enter. You want to make sure that the font size is 12. Modern Language Association, or MLA, guidelines say that the font should be Times New Roman. The size should be 11 or 12, but my preference is 12, so please use that. You want to make sure that your alignment is set to left, and you're going to find that here under the paragraph icon. In the same area, you're going to find an icon or a little button that has arrows, a double-sided arrow, one pointing up, one pointing down. If you click on that drop-down option, you're going to see 2.0, which stands for double spacing. Also, under the same button, you're going to find line spacing options. If you click on that, you should confirm here that you have double space set for your paper, and you want to make sure that the space before and after is set to 0. On some versions of Word, there's a default setting that changes this 0 to a 6, 8, or 10. So you always want to make sure that it's 0 so that your spacing is true double space without any extra gaps. Once you confirm that, you're going to click OK and move over to the Layout menu. Under Layout, you're going to find Margins, and you may or may not have the option to customize it within that same toolbar. You might have to do it here under Margins. And you want to make sure that you select 1-inch margins on all 4 sides, which is the normal setting. You can do it manually here. If you don't see that as an option and don't see these buttons, you can go to Custom Margins and set it manually there. Once your margins are set, you're ready to insert a header. But I'm going to give you a tip, a shortcut way to do this. Rather than insert header, a faster way to do this is to insert page number. On some versions of Word, you're going to find what I'm about to show you in several drop-down menu options rather than in a box. On the new version of Word, which I believe is what you get through your city college, through the city colleges, if you click on page number, you want to pick top of the page and right. If you're not seeing it in a pop-out box, you're going to find it in a drop-down menu under the Insert Page Number. It'll say top of the page, plain number 3. And that's the same setting as this. Once you have that set, you're going to click OK, and you'll see a little 1 show up in the upper right-hand corner. You want to double-click on that and place the cursor in front of the 1 and type your last name. If I were doing this, I would type Lopez and add a space. You'll notice that the font here went back to the default Cambria or whatever your default setting is. So you want to either double click or highlight it all, your last name and the number, and change it back to Times New Roman, size 12. Once you do that, depending on your computer, you might see a green tab, you might see this purple, or you might have this blue line. Somewhere there should be an option to close the header. And again, it might be in a green box up here, or it's going to be in this little blue corner here. That'll bring your cursor back to the top of the page on the left-hand side, which is exactly where you want it to be. And this is where you're going to type your first and last name. I'll demonstrate both here so that it's clear. I'm going to do this as if I were a student. So you'll notice that it automatically double spaces. The second part of the head, this is a heading, and the second part of it is our course name and section. You should also put the semester, which is spring 2017, on the 3rd line, followed by the assignment name. So for this first paper that you're submitting, it's going to be essay number 1, and the first thing that you're submitting to me is actually draft number 2. Later on, you'll change this to SA1 final draft. And then you want to use the due date, which is Monday, February 10th. When you hit enter, you'll notice that the cursor goes back to the left alignment. But here, now it's time to add your title, and you want your title to be centered. So if you go back to that paragraph menu, you should find the center text icon and click on it once. You'll add your title here, make sure that it's something fun and interesting. And when you click enter, it's going to keep everything centered again. So you want to go back and click, once you're finished with the title, you're going to click left align to get back to the left side. And you'll begin your paper right here. Remember to use tab to indent the first line of each paragraph. And if you keep typing, I'll just randomly put some words here or some letters, you'll notice that the second line and any subsequent line will go all the way back to the left, and that's how it should look. As you keep typing, remember your draft should be about 2 to 2.5 pages. You'll notice that your header appears again here on the second page, and that'll tell you that you did it correctly. Your information that we just typed on the first page, this should remain on the first page only, so don't make a mistake and put that in a header. You want to manually type that on the first page. So this is the header, last name, page number. The heading is on the first page only and has your name, course name, semester, assignment name, and due date. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, alopez231@ccc.edu. Thanks.